Hey, y'all, welcome back to Cajun Classic Cars TV. We're in Effie, Louisiana. That's my neck of the woods, just outside of good old Marksville. And I've got Keith here. What are we going to be looking at today, Keith?
We got a couple of Tri-5s. I got a 55 that I'm almost finished with, and I have a 57 that I'm just getting started with. And I got some parts cars back here in case that's needed, which you know it is.
Absolutely. We'll talk about the story of Keith and his cars coming up. Brought to you by Vicari Auction. Check them out at vicariauction.com, and also Goodwood Hardware and Outdoor in Baton Rouge. And they're at goodwoodhardware.com.
Your cars are the stars. Cajun Classic Cars TV.
We're back at Avoyelles Parish, specifically Effie, located on the banks of the Red River near the town of Marksville. When you do what I do and you have a love of classic cars as I do, you take every opportunity to meet and shake hands with folks. I was filling up my 65 Thunderbird one day at a gas station in Effie, and I saw Keith's 55 Chevy. I just had to talk with him. So that led to this episode where we talk about Keith's love of cars and his love of putting back together these pieces of American car history.
The new Motoramic Chevrolet has a certain luxury look that in model after model can mean only one thing: value, big value. Drop in and see your local Chevrolet dealer. Find out for yourself about all the big value features of the new Motoramic Chevrolet.
So, Keith, what made you crazy about cars like the rest of us old guys with old rides, man?
Well, I've been driving since I was about 7 years old. I don't know how many people remember Hardin Lewis, but he loaned us kids, my brothers and sisters and cousins, about a 40-something Dodge pickup truck. And my dad had to put extensions on the pedals so us kids could reach it. And we drove it for a lot of years. And then that progressed into little hot rods, and my first hot rod was a 74 Charger with a 440. My brothers had a 55 Chevrolet, and the other brother had a 32 Ford Coupe. So there was 3 hot rods in the same family. This is all in high school. And then, school and work and families kind of got in the way, and then finally got a chance to get back into them here recently, and I've just gone nuts.
Well, you and I met down the road. I'll go ahead and give a plug for Sean's. For those outside of Central Louisiana, Sean's is a local market chain. And I saw that car, and it's like I, almost ruined my brakes turning around and grabbing you to talk about it. Because, guys like us, we see old cars, and we've got to talk about it. And now here we are at your place, your great garage here, where you're going to be telling us a little bit about the story of the cars you're putting together. And but, it's at first you were like, well, I'm still working on it, whatever. But, the thing about these shows, it's about the stories and the passion that somebody has. Down the line, we could show the progress you've made, and I think you got a heck of a story. So I'm excited to talk about your cars.
Oh, thank you. The 55 came out of Opelousas. There's a man down there named Wayne Doucette. He was in the wrecking business. He has some. He's more of a 32 Ford kind of Model A guy, and went and saw us looking at his cars, and he had a 55 in his garage. It's a warehouse, really. And I said, well, that car doesn't fit in your collection here. He goes, yeah. So I ended up buying that from him, and that was one of those. It was a project, and it had all the parts, and all you have to do is put these parts together. I'm like, well, that sounds easy enough.
A little puzzle or plug and play.
Yeah. Well, 2 years later, I have it on the road, and it still needs a little work, but it's getting there. The other ones, cars I found in north of Jonesville, and I bought all the 2-door 55, 56, 57s that he had. He had some 4-doors, he had some wagons, and I ran out of money by the time I got all the 2-door stuff bought. So that's my collection now.
It's interesting when guys like you and I will go and we'll get a parts car or we'll find different boxes of stuff, and people look at us, especially wives, who look at us like we're crazy, but yet we're working on something one day and go, wait a minute, I know where I've got that.
Yeah, I go back there regularly and get a piece, or because you can't just, I mean, you can buy some of this stuff, especially the Tri-5 stuff. A lot of aftermarket parts for them, but there's nothing like the original stuff, you know. So I've got enough to get several cars going. My next project is a 57 behind us. I want to get it going, and then I'm going to flip it. And I have a 56 back there, 56 two-door hardtop Bel Air. That's the ultimate goal is to get it, you know, and do it nice. Chassis, LS, and you know, a nice interior with air conditioning and power steer and power brakes and those types of things, and make it a good driver. Good solid driver.
You know, Keith, when I was a kid, it seemed like every guy in middle school, junior high, and high school had a T-shirt with a classic car on it, and 99% of the time it was going to be a 50-something Chevy, most likely the 57. It seemed to be the iconic picture when you think classic cars. 57 Chevy, at least back in our time, was that.
Yeah, 57 is a lot of people's favorite. I grew up with a 55, and 56 is actually my favorite, which is probably the least common of all of them today. And I just like the 56. I guess I'm kind of an underdog guy, but that's my favorite, one of the three.
And going back, you know, and you know, kind of connecting and adding on to that story. I remember early on, these things, I don't want to say a dime a dozen, but you could pick them up. Somebody had them under their trees, kind of like you got your parts ones. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'd see ads and it would say 55, 56, 57 Chevy. I don't know, and it would say $20,000 for frame only.
Yeah, yeah, they have gone. They're gone nuts. I think the aftermarket business has hurt a little bit, because you can buy a brand new frame, a brand new body. You can piece together a complete car. So the older stuff, I still like it, but the value of it has gone down. And like these, they've been sitting outside for 40 years. Even these cars are 70 years old now, so they've probably been sitting outside for 60 years, and it shows. But there are still a lot of good pieces. You just got to find them.
Exactly. And, you know, like I said, I used to get excited when I was trying to get back into the collector's car world, and then I have to read the fine print.
Yeah.
It's only for a chassis, or only for a top, or only for a hood. It's crazy.
And no title, you know, no paperwork at all. So, and I had to do that with these. I had to get titles for the ones I'm working on currently, which is doable. But in Louisiana, it's just a it is what it is. Politics.
Yeah, you could say pain in the butt.
Yeah, pain in the butt.
You could. There's another word we could use too. We'll bleep it out. Pain in the ass. So what do you got back here in the field? We'll show some video of it while we talk about it. So just tell us about it.
I have another 55 Bel Air. I have a 55 210. I have two 56s. The one under the shed is the ultimate. That's the one I want to finish with. And then that black car is a 49. And then behind the shed over there is a 59 Ford pickup truck. The old refrigerator, they call them. They nicknamed them refrigerators because they're square, just like a refrigerator is. Ugly, probably the ugliest truck Ford ever made. But it's so ugly, I think it looks good.
Yeah, like a bulldog, which I think you've got a bulldog, right?
I do, yeah. He's around here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, look what they say. Bulldogs and pugs are so ugly they're cute.
Yeah, that's.
I've dated a couple of girls like that, but that's a whole other show. Check out my other channel on girls I've dated. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, well, it's a 55 Chevrolet. I put a 454, a late 90s model, the Gen 6 they call it, 454. I put a 700 R4 transmission in it, so it's a big block with automatic. These seats came out of one of the old cars out there. They're originally from a 65 SS Impala, which, from my understanding, they're 1 year only, and they're kind of rare. And since I put them in there, I've had two people just like go berserk because they want them. They have 65 Impalas, and they need seats for the 65 SS, and those are That's what those are. I didn't know it at the time. I knew they were Impala seats, but I didn't realize they were as rare as they are. I had to put a wiring harness in it, and I got all the lights working. I had to do all the brake lines. I put a gas tank, of course, mufflers and tailpipes, and it's a factory V8 car. If anybody knows the 55s, that's what that. If you see those emblems on a 55 Chevrolet, that means it was a factory V8 car. She's rough, but she's all mine, and it's paid for. So and she runs good. That big block pushes her pretty good. So I've definitely enjoyed it, and I'm going to leave it just like it is. I don't want to paint it. I don't want to. Well, I'm poor, and I don't want to spend another 10 grand on it just to get it painted, and I don't think it'd look any better painted than it does right now. So I'm just going to let her rip. A buddy of mine, we did some swapping, and a buddy of mine gave me some aluminum slots, and I was at Cotil's car show a couple of weeks ago, and a guy there had some just like those, and I asked him if he was interested in trading, and he was, and so I got, he had those wheels on a 57 Chevrolet, and he was ready to change them. He'd had them on there for a while, and he's ready to upgrade or change or whatever. So we did some trading, and I took those wheels and I had to polish them, about 2 days worth of polishing to get them to where they are now, and I really like them. She's for a 70-year-old car. It's actually a pretty solid car. It's got a little bit of rust here and there, but not bad. The trunk's good. The floors are good. The rocker on the driver's side's got a little hole in it, but other than that, she's a very solid old car.
Do you know what was her original color? Was it black or what was it?
No, it was a blue. I'll show you this blue. That blue right there, I don't know what you'd call that, eggshell or baby blue. That was the original color. And then you can see it underneath. You can see it underneath the black. Let's take a look under the hood. Like I said, I bought a pile of parts, and that's a Gen 6 454. It's got a lot of parts in it. It's got a hydraulic roller cam in it. It's got a Holley carburetor. Put a 700 R4 automatic transmission behind it. I put a radiator, and I redid all the brakes. I put tubular front end with disc brakes under the front. The rear end is original, so I haven't upgraded it yet. I did put bearings and seals in it, but I haven't changed it. It's 355 gears at 2,000 RPMs. It cruises down the highway about 70 miles an hour, so it can't ask for much better than that. And it'll get there in a hurry. All right, let's hop in. I'll show you how it runs.
There, of everything.
Some of the original color underneath there. I got to redo the headliner and just stuff. I had to redo the firewall because the motor was so big. Had to cut the firewall and build a new one.
So does every one of your gauges work? I know you got some modern gauges, but to share the story of the seats, clock or anything like that?
No, the tach, the oil pressure, and the water temperature, and that's it. I think that's the most important ones, and you can kind of tell how fast you're going by the tach and other cars around you. So I just kind of guess.
smooth for a 70-year-old car.
Oh, yeah. Not too bad.
So I see it's got 2-arm power steering.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 255 air conditioner.
Exactly, that's what we drive in my vehicle. Yep.
As long as it's rolling, it does fine. I opted not to go with the power brake because the booster was so big, it got in the way of the engine got in the way of the booster, so I had to just do the regular manual brakes. With the disc brakes on the front, it does fine.
Thanks, Keith, not only for your hospitality, but for some great Chevy stories, man.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
It's great to have met you, and travel safe, my friend.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Our show is always brought to you by Vicari Auction. Check them out at vicariauction.com, and also Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors. And from great viewers like you, be sure to check out our website, CajunClassicCarsTV.com. There's a place for you to donate and help the shows keep coming.
Let's go home, fellas. Soft because